Well, hello everyone and welcome to Seaton. This is a small seaside town just a short way from Sidmouth. I thought let's have a change, show you a different beach. So today I want to talk about getting help because I'm in the middle of this fascinating process called getting help. And I'm showing the beach with lots of school kids today. It makes it a bit different. I think otherwise it would be empty. So it's the thing, isn't it? Getting help when you need it most. I'm actually doing quite well. So I thought I'd just tell you my little experience of this. So, okay, let's just draw back. So the first thing is a lot of thing about being a human being is experiencing trauma. Lots of human beings experience trauma, and it can affect us incredibly. Certainly affected me. So I feel in a kind of funny mood about this. I feel quite kind of humorous and laughing and jokey at the same time as I've got something quite deep to say, really. So kind of a nice combination of the two. I feel quite like it. So I've become aware, especially this year, just how much trauma I'm dealing with in terms of past and in terms of present. And of course the shamanic perspective tells us that past, present, future, it's all one, isn't it? Everything's all one. So because it's all one, that's helpful to remember in terms of what we're talking about. So I discovered something called EMDR, eye movement desensitizing and reprocessing therapy. I mean, really quite keen on this. I'm really enjoying looking at those magnificent limestone cliffs over there. Really beautiful. And now just taken by the beauty of the sea on this very grey day. And I'm doing this quite deliberately because the thing about EMDR, it's about being able to make use of connecting to the present while working through and exploring difficult material. That's actually what it's about. So my first experience with obtaining EMDR, and that was purely doing online research. I made a little separate film about that because it was so amusing to me. So I want to talk to you about the second one. So both the first and the second one were private therapy experiences. So my second one was yesterday, and I met Catherine and she explained what we're going to do and all the rest of it. And I sat down in my chair and I had two, well, you call them buzzers, but that's not really a very appropriate term. But basically two little round plastic things connected to wire, and they do the same thing as what phones do when they're on vibrate mode. You know what your phone's like on vibrate mode, and what they do is they alternate. So I held one in each hand, so I'm holding these devices in each hand. They're going beep, 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 and I'm feeling it as well as hearing the sound. I'm mostly feeling it in my hands. So what that's doing is doing something very clever. It's actually physically connecting me to the here and now, to the present moment. And while that's going on, she's then obviously wanting to find out about why I'm there, and I'm telling her a little bit about my life, just a little bit, very, very basic things I'm dealing with at the moment, major past issues which are significant, and she quite quickly comes to the conclusion that actually I am so traumatized at the moment that it's affecting me in all sorts of ways. And one of the main way I became aware of recently is cognitive decline. I've noticed myself becoming less and less intelligent and less bright over the last few months. And when she said, look, it's pretty obvious really, because the levels of trauma you're experiencing are over the roof at the moment. And just the last week alone, you've had your mother fall and break a hip, and she's in hospital now. Only a few weeks ago you found she's diagnosed with moderate Alzheimer's. It's all big stuff, this, isn't it? And I'm thinking, yeah, it is actually, it is big stuff. And to be really truthful, she had the operation a week ago tomorrow it'll be, and for the first 30 days there's a 20% chance she won't survive, and it's not infection that's going to do her, and it's just the effects of everything else, effects on the heart, effects on her will, effects on everything else. So it is a very traumatic time for me at the moment, no question about it. And what she said really helped me so much. And don't forget, I've got holding these things going beep, 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 beep on both of my hands throughout the entire session. I just want to say this to you: if you're going through a really traumatic time and you have to talk about it with anyone, this is something that you actually want to copy. I'll explain how to do that in the next film. So here it's going beep, 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 and talking about difficult stuff, and she comes to the conclusion, I reckon the best way I can help you is let's not bother about the past stuff. Let's focus on what you're going through at the moment. And I want you to know my specific area is to do with loss, death and such like. And you've told me 2005 wife died, 2010 dad died, 2012 sister died, 2019 mum, what's happening to her. So that's a hell of a lot to be going on with. So we're going to ignore all the other stuff, put it to one side and focus on this. And at first I kind of had that sinking heart feeling, oh right, so as usual the main presenting issue is not being dealt with, but she turned me around really fast. She had such a superb explanation for her choice, and I've agreed to go along with this. This is what I'm doing. So I'm going to see this woman, Catherine, for the next 4 weeks, and each time I'll be holding these things in my hand, what she called buzzers, which I'm going to call vibrators. And that keeps me in the present moment while we're going to be working on difficult material. And this is the magic and the miracle of EMDR, being able to combine the two. So it's going to be EMDR therapy, but it's got a completely different intention from what I expected. The intention for this therapy is simply to reconnect me with my fantastic toolkit. Don't forget, folks, I'm a shamanic practitioner. You're probably more aware of that than I am. In fact, it's something I've been very unaware of. I've been so disconnected, not being able to work for clients, not being able to do all the things I love to do, retreats and all the rest of it, being too affected by the trauma. It's been easy for me to forget all about that. But actually, I've got this fantastic toolkit of all my abilities, and what's happened to me is the levels of trauma that I'm experiencing on a daily basis have actually left me fundamentally ungrounded. So much so that I haven't been able to access any of my tools. So what she's going to do, she's going to spend the next month helping me re-access myself to my grounding, to my self-regulation, which is the term I got from my wonderful friend Path. Self-regulation. Don't even know what it means yet, but I'm going to find out in the next month. And it will mean to say that, so Catherine's intention is that when she's done this, I'm going to be right clued up with all my normal modalities and shamanic tools, and I'm going to be able to help myself enormously, and therefore be able to be helpful to other people again, which is why I'm alive, as I always tell myself. So I felt really encouraged and supported by that experience, and I like the novelty of the vibrating things in my hands, and I know things are going well. So thank you very much for listening. So that is one way to help yourself in terms of severe trauma, whether it's past or ongoing. Go for EMDR, find an EMDR therapist, pay privately, and you might want to know this, so it's going to cost me 60 quid a go, and including the assessment session of 60 quid, that's going to cost me 300 quid overall to make that a reality. Okay, cheers folks.